KSL, hey, this is West Football on KSL Sports Rewind presented by Faucia Construction. As we started out this game, Granger received the kickoff. West won the coin toss and then deferred to the second half. And so with that return, we're starting from the 33-yard line here for Granger.
Great to be on the broadcast with you tonight, Mark. Excited to be here at Granger with the blackout uniforms, as you can see.
Mark Winterton, Brian Brown joining me, and that play is going to give us a 2-yard gain here. We had some problems with our mics here.
Still working through the technical side of things out here, but a beautiful view. Our viewers at home can see we have Granger in the dark mode jerseys, or whatever we're calling them. So hopefully we'll be able to get those numbers tonight, but this should be a fun matchup between two teams, especially that West High defense. So it is. We've seen them dominant as they've run through this region schedule, and now Granger sitting in third and long here.
Carr across the middle, and it's complete. That'll be a first down for the Lancers.
Great job by Carr, standing in the pocket, getting on platform, delivering a strike right to where his receiver can go get it. Receiver does a great job managing the football, and that's a big conversion for Granger here. If they're able to get some early points, Mark, that could be a great momentum swinger in this game.
Well, and he found his man Landon Figueroa, which you're going to hear his name a lot tonight. One of the main receivers for Granger. Landon Figueroa. I think I'm saying his name right.
Figueroa?
Figueroa, there you go. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you and I are going to struggle through some of these names, no doubt about it tonight.
Carr in the pistol. Ooh, had a little bit of a false start there by the running back. Nothing thrown. And look at him break away. Still going to go tackled for a loss there.
Yeah, great job by Santiago there. The running back, Noah Santiago, able to see that the middle was congested, bounce outside. Doesn't really get positive yards on it, but extends the defense at the very least, making sure that West pursues them to the sideline.
These two teams seem to match up pretty good. What do you see as far as that goes?
Well, it's two programs that are in very different situations, right? Granger is looking to get to where West is. West is now turning into one of the premier programs, went on the road to modern day this year, and you've seen continued growth from year to year. I think that's what Granger's aspiring to be. And so similar styles in some ways, similar matchups, a lot of probably family crossovers and family ties in this game.
Well, on a 2nd and 12, looks like Granger wants a timeout. We're going to take one as well.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Hey, it's West Football right here on KSL Sports Rewind. Mark Winterton along with Brian Brown bringing you this action from Granger High School as West comes in here. Take on the Lancers. This one's for the region championship.
It is, Mark, and a very competitive, feisty region, so you know that you've really gotten the cream of the crop here with West and Granger. Like we talked about earlier, if Granger's able to grab some momentum, that could be a huge change in this game, give them an opportunity to secure that region championship.
This is Carr in the gun. Leighton, as the other students around the high school call him. And the pass complete. Out to Mamone. And Mamone has got a first down for the Lancers.
Yeah, nice easy pass there for Carr to the sideline, and you see the receiver make a few moves. Great job by the other one, stock blocking out there, able to bring his buddy for a big first down. You're seeing this West defense, they pursue hard. They've got a strong defensive line, a lot of really talented guys on the front of there, and so Granger, very smart, just getting the ball to the outside quickly.
Now Carr only playing, I think this is only his 4th game playing this year for Granger.
And you can see what a difference maker he is early on with those completions.
So it's going to be Carr in the gun. Santiago in the backfield with him. He's got trips here to the near side. 9:41 here in the first quarter. Scores zeros as Layton has continued this drive. They got the kickoff and they've kept it alive. Carr will step up to throw, and it's complete over to his man Sanborn.
Yeah, something we haven't seen from. Is it Sanborn? Who do we got there?
I couldn't tell you who it is.
But great job, nevertheless, of Carr getting outside, avoiding the rush there as West looked like one of the Brown brothers, possibly Mania, had come on the rush there. He's able to step up, find his receiver, get some positive yardage. That's a big deal on first down.
Yeah, I've got 2 number 10s on here. They're saying Key. That was actually Jovian Key on the reception. Brings up a 2nd and 5 here for the Lancers. Under 9 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Santiago going to switch sides here in the backfield with Carr. And Carr gives to Santiago. And he'll pick up about 2 yards on the play.
And you can see the aggressiveness of that West defense, right? They are built to stop the run, especially up the middle. You see Kaimani Lautami coming from the outside to tackle Santiago. Granger has to stick with the run game to keep them off balance. But early on, I think we'll probably see him go back to the pass here, Mark.
Well, this brings up a 3rd and short 2 here. They gave him 3 on that play. Well, a lot of times these regions don't intermix, or they don't play each other during the regular season. And so it's exciting to get into state tournament. So close. How do you say it? Figueroa there, off the fingertips and out of bounds.
And it is unique. You see so many schools going around and playing different teams from different divisions and different classifications. It's nice to see here in Region 2, you've got a lot of those West Side schools that play each other, and building some of those natural rivalries. It's fun to come and see the game, and even for a Wednesday night, see such a great crowd.
Oh, definitely good crowd tonight. As this will bring up a 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it. And the Lancers want a timeout. We'll take one as well.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes
It's West football right here on KSL Sports Rewind. Presented by Faucia Construction. Tonight's game also brought to you by Omi Photo by Naomi Masina. That's located at 7819 South Highland Drive. That's in Cottonwood Heights. Whether you're looking for a photo shoot with your family, team, family occasion, hey, come support Naomi at Omi Photo. 801-949-6365. That number again, 801-949-6365. Here on 4th down, it's Carr in the pistol. And it's a give to Santiago, and he is bottled up in the backfield.
Yeah, and you see, we already mentioned Kaimani once. There he is again, coming off the edge. Tough situation there. Granger trying to spread out that West defense and find a gap, but West was not fooled on that one. That's a tough turnover on downs after a pretty decent drive there from Granger, Mark.
So 1st and 10 for West. The Panthers will take over on their own 33-yard line. And I want to say that's where the Lancers started, was on their own 33-yard line.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of that already, just the kind of the mirroring. And even though the accent colors might be a little different here, the black and the white, similar, color schemes there, I guess.
A lot of similarities. They're actually starting on their 32-yard line. And it's Sui on the carry.
Yeah, Isaiah Sui, one of the, I think, is going to be a potential standout for the 2024 recruiting class. Does a great job managing this offense, has a lot of weapons out there that he can work with, including number 2, Charlie Holbrook. We'll keep an eye on him as well, for sure.
Sui meant to give it to Arone, and Arone wasn't there. And Sui will be sacked for a loss there.
A great job by that Granger front. Matt Jones, you see, flying up from the linebacker position to make the tackle. And this is a big West High offensive line that does a good job in the zone game. That time, Granger was able to penetrate it and get Sui for a loss.
So this will give West the 3rd and 4 here from their own 39-yard line. More like a third and 3, a long 3. Sui in the gun. And it's a give to Arona. And he's got the first and more. Out to about the 48-yard line, 47-yard line.
Yeah, pretty easy conversion there on 3rd down for West. You said it was short yardage marking. You see Nuku Mafi, the left tackle on the pull there, out leading the running back for the first down. Nice play call by this West coaching staff.
And a hurry-up offense here, and Rona up the middle, and he's got room. Oh, nice hit there. He'll pick up 7.
Yeah, great job by the safety, I think it was there, number 4, Ricky Mamoni, coming downhill, and he caught a load there from the running back. But very same play we saw before, that easy counter tray out of the hurry-up, and does a good job getting him 8 yards on first down.
So 2nd and 2, under 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Sui hands again to his running back. This time it's number 26 on the carry, Vayanuku.
Yeah, great job there by the Granger defense, recognizing again that counter tray for the 3rd time in a row, stopping that lead blocker, filling everything up and allowing those backers to flow to the outside. Saw number 44, Matangi, out there to make the tackle as well, along with Jones, who we mentioned earlier.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 here. Sui in the gun, brings a man in motion. And he'll look to throw. Flag thrown in the backfield. Sui's going to try and keep it and run for the first down. They're going to say the ball was down. Or Sui was down.
Sui definitely down there. Took a big hit, pops right back up. Doesn't matter because I think this one's going to be a hold. Saw the center there. It looked like number 64, I believe. Grabbing a little too much jersey. Just look, I'm a former offensive lineman, Mark. Sometimes you just want to give somebody a hug. Unfortunately, the referees don't like that kind of stuff, so this is going to push West back.
This will put them back to about the 40, which makes it a 3rd and 17. I don't know. Would you rather be 3rd and 17 or 4th and 5?
You know, with Sui at quarterback, it's an interesting conundrum because he is such a talented player, can do it on the ground as we've seen already, but also has a big arm. So 2 plays to get the first down here, I think, if you're West. We'll see what happens, though.
Sui looking to throw. And he will throw this one up. It's incomplete. Pass intended for Jacob Wilson.
Great job there to break that one up. And now it's going to be 4th and long, so not able to get any kind of yardage to put you in possible going for a territory there. It looks like West is just going to flip this over. That's a big stop for this Granger defense.
Well, it ends up being a good decision, too, to take the penalty and make it now a 4th and long, where you don't think they're going to go for this one.
Absolutely.
Where at 4th and 5, maybe you do let Sui.
Well, you've got so many weapons in that big offensive line, you know, and we saw him earlier on 3rd and short be able to convert it. So, yeah, definitely good job by the coaching staff there for Granger as they get this kick away.
This is...
looks like Mamoni out there.
Mamoni.
Catching the kick, I believe.
That was Mamoni. Mamoni actually one of their main returners.
Mm-hmm. And you can see why. He's shifty back, able to evade the tackle initially, tried to cut back a little bit against the grain, develop a little bit more yardage, not able to get anything out of it. And we'll see what this Granger offense can do. You have to wonder, West does a lot of two platooning where they have separate guys for both sides of the ball. Maybe that defense got settled down a little bit more. We've seen this defense be really aggressive. So interesting series coming up for Granger here.
So it'll be first down from their own 28-yard line here. Carr in the gun. That's Santiago in the backfield on the swing pattern, and he drops it. It's a fumble. He finally jumps on it. I don't think he...
It looked kind of like he just decided that once he dropped it, that was that, but the officials didn't blow the whistle. And you see number 5 there, Julius Tukuisuva, coming from the backside, providing the pressure there on Carr, really causing chaos back there, and looks like this is going to push the ball way back now for Granger.
Yeah, 2nd and 18 here for Granger. Carr just got the call from the sideline. He's coming back out of the huddle. Under 4 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. But so far we're scoreless. Granger's stopped West, and Granger's got the ball back.
Yeah, and look, this is exactly where Granger wants to be, where if you're in a stalemate, you've got an opportunity to convert here, maybe pull ahead. Just keep on chopping down on that tree if you're Granger.
Carr looking to pass. And he will get bottled up. It's going to come back to the line of scrimmage there for brought down, no gain on that. It'll be a 3rd and 18.
See that pocket collapse on him quickly with that one, right, as he's dancing around trying to make something happen. Kudos to him for getting back to the line of scrimmage. But that's where you really see the talent shine on that West front.
Tonight's game brought to you by NC Payments. Do you own your business that accepts payment by credit cards? Well, you can come work with National Card Payments. They're a locally owned credit card processing company that has over 22 years of experience. You can get a free quote, see how much they can help you, and they love to support the local community, offering a $100 Visa gift card for any business that signs up for their merchant services this season. Find out how much they can save you. Call 801-923-8125. That's National Card Payments as Carr drops back to throw, and it's Mamone. No, sorry, that's Figueroa. Or is it? Now I'm having a hard time seeing.
I think you were right. That does look like it was Figueroa where they're able to reel in the catch. That's a great reception there as he goes sky high to reel that one in. You see the West defender cut his legs out from underneath him. But what a throw and catch there by Carr.
Well, the fact that he was able to hang on to that.
Yeah.
I think that's
absolutely
actually, that was number 10. That's Jovian Key. Yeah, that is Jovian Key. Here he comes off. I can see his number. And now back on. He turned around and just went right back to the huddle.
Well, listen, I don't blame him. With a play like that, you probably want to keep Key out on the field as much as possible, especially here on 4th and short.
It really was an amazing catch, especially the contact that was there. 4th and 2, and they're not going to get it. West takes over on downs.
Well, you kind of see what Granger's trying to do there. Switch up personnel a little bit. We saw Santiago come off and maybe try to catch West off guard. No chance in that one. That West defensive front is just too stout for a zone read play up the middle on 4th down. And you kind of have to wonder, Mark, a little bit with the success that we've seen Granger have through the air. Maybe if that isn't something that they'll go back to the next series.
Well, that was Maka Sonasi that they handed the ball off to, but he was, completely gang tackled there in the backfield. As this is Arona, and Arona will pick up about 3.
Arona, a real downhill back there, and you can see, West looking to see what Granger's doing as Sui hands him the ball off, kind of fakes out the zone read play there. But still, West able to get 3-4 yards on 1st down. That's a great position to be in, especially here on the 32-yard line as they're driving into the Lancer end zone.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. And Sui looking in the air. And he's got a man down the left sideline. That's Vailahi.
Just a wonderful throw on a rope there from Sui to Sesi Vailahi there. And you see Vailahi with the speed. Almost gets that one in the end zone, but corralled there finally by 2 Granger defenders. And West hurry up to score here.
So first and goal from the 3-yard line at Sui to Arona, and it's a touchdown for the West Panthers.
Ty Arona, and if Dusty Lister would hear, he'd call him my Ty Arona. The easy play up the middle there. You see this West offensive line taking advantage of maybe a little bit fatigued Granger defense there after the big play. Opens up the hole, and Arona just slides right in there for 6.
Ty Arona.
There it is.
Looking to add the extra point. And it is good, and West on top, 7-0 with 43 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. We're back after this quick break.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
West High football right here on KSL Sports Rewind. This is presented by Fausia Construction, as it's West that scores first. I'm Mark Winterton. Also joining me tonight, Brian Brown, the Brown Bear.
Here to roar on both West and Granger High School tonight, Mark. Excited to be here with you. Our first game together. Been a little bit jealous of my guy Jake Hatch. He's been able to work with you all year long. So finally able to recruit you away, as I believe Jake is home celebrating the birth of his daughter today. Her birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Jake's had to take a couple of nights off because of birthdays. A couple of nights off this year because of birthdays.
It's a rare thing for him to take a night off, that's for sure, as we see West with just the little squib kick there. Interesting approach. I think we saw early on just the potency that Granger has there with Mamoni. And they want to try and keep the ball away from him for sure.
Yeah, he's one of those deadly guys with the ball. Keep it out of his hands as much as possible, and it gives you a better chance of winning the game.
For sure, and with a team like Granger, you want to try and get Mamoni the football as much as possible. He's a game breaker, but we've also seen some great plays so far from Jovian Key. Made that terrific reception over there on the sideline. Be interesting to see what Granger does here. Do they go back to the pass, or do they try to keep establishing the run?
Well, and also their leading receiver, Figueroa, out there, number 20. Another one of their key targets for Carr. As Carr will give this one off to Santiago, and Santiago trying to stay on his feet, but I think he's going to pick up maybe 1, maybe 2. We'll see where they mark this.
Yeah, and you can see really well in this play why Granger is where they're at, why this is a battle between, the top of the region with these two teams. Able to open the hole. Santiago hits it quickly, and he's a strong, fast runner, but so is that West defense, and you can see that he's used to normally bowling defenders over that point. Not the case when you hit this West High Panther defense. Well,
it gets exciting. RPI comes out this Saturday, and we'll be able to see exactly who matches up with who for as this 6A tournament gets going next week.
And as you mentioned earlier, West High doesn't trend down to Region 4 very often, so it'll be very fascinating to see where those seedings line up, and RPI is one of those things, unless it's like 2 for 4 cheeseburgers, Mark, I'm not that great with math, so I'll leave it up to the experts at RPI to figure all that out, but I'm sure Dusty and Dane will break it all down for you on Rewind as well.
Well, after one quarter, it's West on top, 7 over the Lancers, 0. We're back to start the second quarter.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
They said it would take me 4 years to graduate. They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
Hey, we're back. starting our West. It's Granger. Granger Lancers hosting the West Panthers. As Mark Winterton, along with Brian Brown, bringing you this live action here on KSL Sports Rewind. Brings up a second and long for the Lancers.
Yeah, we switched fields there, so easy to get that one a little bit mixed up, especially with as much back and forth as we've seen so far this game, Mark.
Carr looking to pass. And going down the intended for, and I couldn't tell, was that intended for Figueroa or was it intended for Key?
And that's the hard part about that throw, right? We've seen Carr be super accurate all game long. Looked like Figueroa was able to get his hands up on it, but not sure which one he was throwing to. Two receivers in the area there. Interesting decision by Carr.
There's a penalty, and it looks like it's a hold against the Lancers, and so that'll back them up. And it's going to make it about 2nd and 21.
Again, this West High defensive front, multiple 3- and 4-star future recruits. We talked about Kaimani Lautami. That one's going to be a little bit challenging, so have some patience with me, folks. I have to stick to the simple names: Brown, Black, Smith.
I was actually very impressed with that. I was like, wow, you really let that one roll off the tongue.
I get excited when I see Kaimani play because he's a phenomenal player. So if I bumble over a little bit, my apologies. But Kaimani is fantastic to watch. You'll see it here in 2nd and long.
Carr makes some moves, and he makes a man miss, and there's a throw downfield. And it was intended, almost picked off, intended for Mamone.
Yeah, and you see Carr thought he had a receiver open in the area there, but just closed on so quickly there. But I believe it was Tuaone there at the cornerback position, I think. Trying to see 21.
Yeah, you're right. That is Tuaone.
And he is a fantastic player. You can see him wearing the pink spat on his cleats. But just the speed and ability at which he closes, almost I had a house call on that one. And you got to think he might be thinking about that one for a second.
Well, I think we saw why he doesn't play receiver.
Yeah.
But he's a great defender.
He is. And most importantly, gets the knockdown and forces Granger into the 3rd and very long here.
And I'm teasing, by the way, for you at home. Carr on 3rd and 21 in the gun. It's a quick pass to him up. That is to Figueroa. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th and a mile.
Yeah, Figueroa, tough time reeling that one in. And you see, wouldn't have really mattered as this West defense is incredibly well coached, had multiple defenders there at the point of attack, and you're starting to see this defense gain back that confidence, that momentum.
This West program, you go back 4 years ago and they were struggling. They were a struggling program. They get this new coaching staff that comes in. They've been there now 4 years, and we're starting. I mean, last year we saw them fairly successful. They looked good, and of course, thinking, hey, looking to go even further this year into the state tournament.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. Battle Test had been to Mater Dei in LA, one of the premier high school programs in California. Has the high snap there. Not a great kick.
Carr's kick goes end over end, and it ends up traveling a little further.
I wish you mentioned Moose Bingham when we were off air. I wish we had Moose here to tell us about why that worked so well, why it was so effective. But a shorter kick, big hop, pins West back a little bit, and that's a very advantageous bounce for Granger there, as it even gets over the 50 and puts him about, looks like the 44-yard line.
If you notice, Carr took his time back there punting, and he let his defenders get downfield, and then he just punts it end over end, which gives it that opportunity to bounce a little bit more. The returner is unable to get underneath it, call a fair catch.
Yeah, dangerous situation. We had a poison call back in the day when I coached out at Cypress High School to make sure our guys were away from the football, but you kind of want to invoke a little bit of chaos when you do something like that.
Sui keeps it. It is a quarterback keeper, and he's got a first down for the West Panthers.
We saw early on West having some success with the zone read, just giving it to the running back. Sui calls his number, makes the read, slips up at that crease, and you can see why he's such a highly thought of quarterback, so athletic, and once he hits that hole, it is so hard to bring him down.
Sui in the pistol. He's got Vianuku lined up behind him, and he fakes it to Vianuku and faked out all the defenders, and he kept it himself.
Yeah, I think the only one who wasn't faked out about that was our cameraman Bill, as he does a great job following the ball there. But you see West's plan, right? They want to go hurry up. They're not going to try and switch the calls up. They're confident in what they do. So they just run the zone read again. You see Sui so excited he almost false started there on his own and snap a little high, but still able to get 8-9 yards on the play. Incredible.
So he's 2nd and 1 here for the Panthers. 10:36 left to go here in the second quarter. Looking to pass, and going to go downtown into double coverage, and there's a flag that is thrown. That was intended for his receiver, Holbrook.
Yeah, Charlie Holbrook, I think one of the premier wide receivers, definitely in this region, if not in the state. You can see why Granger has double coverage on him as he's streaking down the sideline, and just too much contact, too much action going on there, and it looks like this one's going to be another first down for West.
Well, tonight's coverage is brought to you by Victoria Real Estate and Financial Services. Excited to be a sponsor of West High School football, and they're owned and operated by Victoria Tanuvasu. We are a team of industry professionals committed to genuinely serving our neighbors on the west side with all their real estate and life insurance needs. As a proud alumnus of West High School, class of 2004, Victoria looks forward to supporting the Panther community. As Vianuku on the carry will get 1.
Yeah, not a lot there. You know, Granger with a good bounce back play after the penalty. You love to see a defense that when something bad happens responds to the adversity there, able to limit them West to just 2 yards.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 9, under 10 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Call it a long one, maybe.
A what?
A long 1 yard gain.
Yeah, I'd give it a long.
Maybe it's just my bad eyesight, Mark. Hard to
No,
say.
it looked like a good. It was a long 1 yard gain.
I
We got a
definitely
timeout.
would never doubt the spotting abilities of our UHSAA officials. That's for sure.
You know, they do a good job, and I mean, hey, if you can do better, get out there, right? That's what I always
absolutely.
say. If you can do better, you better go ref.
That's why I'm up
Timeout.
here.
We're going to take one as well.
Sorry about that.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
West High School football right here on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Fausia Construction. 9:47 left to go here in the first half. Mark Winterton along with Brian Bound joining me. And, hey, 7-0 ball game.
Yeah, and that's honestly a big deal for Granger that you're limiting this West High offense to just 7 points in the first quarter. You see that Granger defense coming back out, trying to hold them to maybe a field goal or even possibly a turnover here as we get deeper in the second quarter. If Granger can stay with West High School here, just further going, that gives them all the opportunities in the world to try and grab something on a big play and get some more momentum.
So on second down, Sui fakes it to Vianuku, and it is play action there, knocked down by Matt Jones.
Yeah, and a great job. Jones, we called his name multiple times already, does a great job knocking that ball down, seeing what West is trying to do, get Sui out into space, allow him to use his athleticism and that rifle of an arm. Just that time, better play made by the defender there.
Well, third down, and we've seen high caliber players on both sides here. Sui did not have very much time as he was rolling out there. Yeah, this time 5 receivers, and we got a flag thrown in the backfield, and I'm not sure if it's trying to count players. What is that?
And it looks like it was, I believe that was a delay of game, wasn't it? Signal there? Maybe I'm off on that one. Either that or else an illegal substitution where maybe they broke the huddle with too many guys.
That's what I was wondering, if that's what it was.
Yeah, we don't have a play clock down on the field here at Granger, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one as well.
Well, it's a 5-yard penalty, so it brings up 3rd and 14 here for West. Again, Suey with 5 receivers. He's all alone. And he will look to pass. He's going to get rushed out, and he's going to keep it. He's got yardage. He's got the first down. Going for the touchdown. Did he get it? They're going to say he stepped out at the 5.
And you can see the danger of rushing Suey there. If you don't maintain your lanes and he sneaks outside, he's such a fantastic athlete. Makes multiple Granger's defenders miss. And the only thing that didn't miss was the out-of-bounds line there, Mark, as he steps out of the 5-yard line. Would have had a touchdown there easily had he not.
Well, that stops the clock at 9:32 here in the second quarter. And gives them a 1st and goal here from the Granger 5-yard line. Suey with Vianuka, and I think that's Vailahi in the backfield with him, and it's a give to Vianuku. Vianuku blocks, or bounces off 2 tacklers and gets in. Touchdown, Panthers.
Great job there by Vianuku to keep his feet as he absorbs some serious contact, and I'm very impressed by this Granger defense. They came to play tonight, but so did Vianuku as he fights and scraps and crawls his way into the end zone for 6 there, Mark.
So Suey to hold on this extra point try here. And I'm not even going to try and attempt to say the place kicker's name. You want to give it a shot?
I might have to work on that one in the next break a little bit there.
I'm just going to say it just to give him some credit. Ari Kajanuri. I think I got it.
Sounds
That's
good to
the
me.
extra point, and it's West up 14-0. We're back after this quick break.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
9:26 left to go here in the second quarter. West getting on the board with Vianuku running it in. Who scored the first touchdown for them? Was it Suey?
It was Ty Aroma there from the running back position, though.
That's right, Ty Aroma.
Seen that 2-headed monster for West having a lot of production in terms of scoring touchdowns.
And Ari with the kick. Lands around the 5-yard line there. And that is Mamone bringing it out to about the 20.
And you can see the speed that Mamone has there, why he's such a dangerous threat, why West was so adamant about doing that squib kick early on. That time, great coverage by West High. They're able to keep him but just to the 20-yard line. And right now, this is huge response territory for Granger. They've got to get something going, and they really need to get some points on this drive if they want to stay in this game.
Well, tonight's game is brought to you by Mountain Ops, a local nutrition company helping improve the lives of individuals, families through high-quality supplements and Conquer Hunger meal donations. That's Mountain Ops, proud sponsor of West High football, as Carr delivers this one. That is to Santiago, just on a swing pattern. Good, no gain on the play.
Yeah, and you see the early pressure there from Mania Brown on one side, and you see Tuaoni there also from his cornerback position, and the other Brown brother, Taimani, actually making the tackle. And those are some of the real standouts of this West defense there in that secondary. Just a great job by them, limiting Granger from getting any kind of yards on that one.
So I'll bring up 2nd and 10. Clock ticking down to 8:37 here in the second quarter. Carr in the gun, Santiago lined up left side of him. Carr looked to pass. as he'll heave this one downfield, intended for Figueroa, incomplete.
You see Carr recognizing the pressure as West trying to disguise the coverage a little bit out on the outside, bringing Kaimani Lautani from the outside in addition to Khalil Laufau. So both of their defensive ends on one side, especially that wide side of the field. Great job by Carr to recognize it, find Figueroa, just not able to connect on that one.
8:17, clock stopped. Carr's got the play call from the sideline there as they'll break the huddle. So it's Santiago in the backfield with Carr. And Carr looks to pass. And he'll heave this one again downfield. And it's caught this time. Figueroa, did he come away with it? Or was it intercepted? But obviously the flag's thrown in. Looks like a pass interference.
It does, and we have the official spotting the ball, so it looks like, from my vantage point, somebody actually hauled that one in, but flags from both sides there. It looked like it was pretty obvious pass interference. That's going to be a huge first down conversion here for Granger if that's the call.
You know, I watched that come down, and it looked like Figueroa had it. So I was surprised when I saw a Panther come away with it.
Yeah, so was I. And then, you know, Figueroa, as you mentioned earlier, one of the leading wide receivers. I was waiting a little bit there to see what the, you know, where they were going to spot the ball. Kind of, you know, we're in a further away vantage point, got the lights in our eyes. I can make all the excuses in the world, but that's a great job by that West defender, but probably why he committed the pass interference.
Well, if you think about it, yeah, that puts them downfield another 25 yards from where they're at after the penalty.
And listen, that's exactly what Granger needs. They need to have some mistakes from West High, especially on this defense, to where they can start to capitalize on it and get some momentum. And first down conversion there, that's huge for them as they get out to the 35-yard line now.
Well, and I think you mentioned it, you know, going to the air. They found some success through the air, so go for it. At Carr, going deep twice. This one results in a penalty, and they get a first down out of it.
You see the attack. They want to get rid of the ball early and just throw it up to Figueroa and some of these other speedy wide receivers to avoid that West pass rush.
Leighton Carr, a big quarterback, standing 6'3". He'll deliver this one. This one good to Mamone, and it's Mamone making several guys miss.
Holy cow, and what a treat he is to watch. Short, small, shifty guy. Kind of has a little shade of Britton Covey there as he's able to throw some defenders out of the way and kind of glitch his way. That was one of the most exciting 6-yard games we've had all game, Mark.
I mean, they were kind of throwing themselves out of the way.
That's true. That's true. You know, it's an easy thing to do when defenders don't come down with leverage. You know, and Mamone, great job to recognize it, use his hands to get yardage, get 6 yards on first down, puts Granger in a great spot here.
Ricky Mamone, you'll see him. He's a near receiver here, closest to us, as this will bring up 2nd and 4. Carr in the gun. He'll look to pass again. This time going to go deep to Figueroa, and it's picked off. Interception. To the 40, the 30, the 20. There's a flag thrown. 10. Touchdown. We'll see if they call this. It's a touchdown. There's a flag out at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Sessi Vailahi there, able to intercept the football. We'll see if the touchdown stands, but you can see the danger. We're just kind of throwing that one up, and Carr's been fairly accurate. Let's see what the call is here. We got ball boys and people roaming in the end zone. They acted like it was
going to stand. I thought they were taking the ball there, but now they're back out here at the, and it's at the 30 is where the flag, they've replaced it, changed the, and it's a block in the back against West. So that will bring them back.
Yeah, and that's usually the case with those kinds of returns, and really a needless one based on where the flag is located, but because he was off to the races down the sideline. And as a coach, those are the kinds of plays where they kill you during the game, and you love to point them out in the film sessions in the next morning because it gives you all the justification to continue to coach these guys up hard. give these guys from West High School. This is a really talented football team. They haven't had a lot of struggles all year. You want to continue to coach them up to make sure that they're perfect, because they're going to run into some real juggernauts here in the playoffs.
That was a great catch by Valahi. We have that great interception. Him going up, grabbing that, bringing it down. And a great return that, of course, negated by the penalty. But so on first down at the Lancer 40, it's out to Arona. Arona gets 6 yards on the pass catch.
Versatile backfield here for West. You see Arona and then Vailahi and Sui. They have a lot of ability to move the football in a variety of ways, but you see Sui, when he has time, he throws an absolute dart, and Arona able to get 6 yards on that one, looks like 6-7.
Well, tonight's coverage brought to you by Intermountain Fire Protection. Your home and your business are far too important to not be protected. Intermountain Fire Protection will make sure that your home or business is not only up to code, but protected from fire and its destruction. Call 801-419-8084. Sui downfield, and he's got a man. Complete. And down at the 11-yard line, flags thrown in, complete to Charlie Holbrook.
And you can see why Holbrook is one of the highly thought of wide receivers that are able to make multiple defenders miss. Looks like he didn't get some help from his teammate there, as I think this one might be
going to be a hold.
Yeah, a hold or a block in the back, either one of those. But one of those things. Trust Holbrook. He's incredibly shifty. He's great with the football in his hands, able to pick up the yak. Again, those little tiny mistakes that Coach Solovi is going to be harping on these guys at halftime and definitely in the film session tomorrow.
The 10-yard penalty brings it back out to the 21. Boy, 2 big penalties, but not necessarily hurting West.
Yeah.
Just delaying a touchdown.
Exactly, the inevitable. And this West offense, very high-powered. You can see what the goal is. They want to get defenders on their heels and get them going downhill early.
But these are going to be penalties that are going to hurt come playoff time. You've got to get rid of those. As Sui fakes this one to Rone, he'll keep it himself, making some huge misses. And will he score? No, he's going to step out around the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you can see, again, the athleticism of Sui, and that's really what this West High team is. A lot of fantastic athletes, great football players, trying to build that culture of discipline. Because as you said, Mark, when they go up against some of those Region 4 teams, those mistakes can be very costly. You see Sui does a great job of advancing the football there.
So it'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers from the Lancer 3-yard line, and it's going to be a timeout for West. Hey, we're going to take one as well.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of
Welcome back, KSL Sports Rewind. Mark Winterton along with Brian Brown. And this game, of course, brought to you by Heidemann and Associates and Western Governors University. 5:31 left to go here in the first half as West is looking to score again.
Yeah, and this is a big opportunity for Granger to try and get a stop here. West able to go ahead 21-0. That really puts Granger into a hole for one here in the second quarter. And then you have to wonder, where Granger's going to find, the mentality to try and stop West here as they're on the 3-yard line.
First and goal for the Panthers.
Sui under center. As he'll give to Vailahi, and it's a score. Touchdown, the Panthers. That's Vailahi's second score of the game.
Yeah, and if you're Ty Arona over on the sideline, you're already chirping at coach saying, I want next. At this point, is that counter tray for West has been so deadly. Just a really simple, open hole, and you see Vailahi able to slide through there practically untouched, and Granger really needs to respond here as they'll get the kickoff after the PAT here. So
Ari Kajanuri to kick the extra point. Up, and it looks good. So Panthers go up 21-0 over the Lancers. We'll be back after this quick break.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
5:28 left to go here in the second quarter as West, quick score there. And they'll be kicking off to Lancers, and this one's got out of hand pretty quick. Lancers come in that is 5-3, and of course West coming in 6-2. They're both vying for the region title here.
Yeah, and Granger 4-1 in region, done a great job here in Region 4 competing, but kind of running into a buzzsaw tonight with West. Hung with them there in the first quarter, and then we've just seen an explosion of offense from West in the meantime.
Ari to kick off. Gonna put it right about the 7-yard line. I think that's Mamone with the ball. It is. Mamone pitches it, and it's Figueroa. Figueroa will get out to the 26-yard line. So it'll be Lancer ball at their own 26.
A little trickeration there. I was watching Mamone, kind of wondering why the slow start as they tried to form a little bit of a wall there. Throws the pitch back, able to get 6 extra yards there from where Mamone had the ball originally. Not quite enough to maybe flip the field in a sense, but you know, wake that offense up a little bit. Get your guys excited. Get these guys buying in and believing in themselves a little bit here.
Kind of a risky play, too, because he pitched it as he's hit. Mm-hmm. And on a kickoff, you've got defenders all over the place. You know, very easily a defender comes along and snags that out of the air.
Absolutely. Probably not something you'd attempt if it wasn't Figueroa on the receiving end of that, right?
True. Carr, quick handoff, and that'll result in a yard gain of probably a yard. Maybe only a foot.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing.
And you've seen this West defense really tighten up on the run game there. Santiago not able to get much going. It looks like that we actually had a different running back on that one. But you know, at this point, if you're Granger, you know, Carr got in the interception. You want him to settle down a little bit. Maybe try and throw some of those sideline screen plays to Figueroa. You know, we haven't seen Key yet, you know, since the big catch that he made there on the sideline. But anything you can do to try and get some momentum going and get the ball moving.
Speaking of Key, he's, I thought he was going to be the far man receiver, but it's him and Figueroa over on the far side. Mamone, this near side receiver. 2nd and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Carr looking to pass. And he's got Santiago. Swing pattern. Santiago can't stay on his feet. Going to be tackled for a loss.
Again, Granger thinking the same thing that I am. Try and get the ball to the outside. Let Carr get a little bit of his confidence back after that interception. And you see him coming over the sideline every single time to get the play. You know, you have to wonder what the urgency is from the offense with that. Want to pick things up here a little bit if you're Granger.
3rd and 12 for the Lancers.
So it'll be 3rd and 12 here. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game, or in the first half. 21-0 though.
Yeah.
21-0, and Lancers definitely wanting to put something on the board heading into halftime.
You see Matt Jones, the standout from defense, in on offense here. Have to wonder if maybe Granger has something in store for him as he ends up in the slot out here.
Because he's their starting
side.
Middle linebacker, isn't he?
Been a great playmaker so far this game, too.
Carr, quick pass, and it is deflected and ends up incomplete.
Not able to reel it in there. I think it was number 23 there. Mawaka Bernard, 6'4" senior, 215 pounds, big target. And you see what Granger's trying to do, get the big man the ball over the middle, just not able to reel it in.
So that'll bring up 4th down, and they'll go ahead and punt this one away.
see. Look, Granger's got a player running in late here, number 8 looks like. Trying to see who that is back there to receive it for West.
And that's what I was trying to see, and he won't look at us.
Flash that number, son.
Good punt there by Matt Jones, and he is roughed, which will be an automatic first down for the Lancers.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder about that one from West High School. You got 21 points on the board, only 3 minutes till halftime. Is that really one where you want to go after it? And Jones does a great job of drawing the penalty. And I think this one's going to result in a first down for Granger.
Decent punt there by Jones.
Yeah, great job. So Vailahi able to secure the punt, obviously, after the big kick, but to no avail. Interesting.
Penalty against the Panthers is 5.
So it looks like a running into the kicker there, not the full rough, which, interesting.
So it's just a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, so it looks like Granger's going to turn that one down rather than the 5 yards and the re-kick with the pretty sizable field position flip due to the kicking prowess of Matt Jones. Just impressive effort by him tonight.
So what? I mean, I know there's a difference between roughing and running into him. What is it?
I'm not going to use that play as an example for me, Mark, because I thought that was a roughing as Jones was hit pretty hard, but apparently our officiating crew disagreed.
Vayanuku with the catch, and he'll pick up 5 yards on that play.
Great job by him to avoid the defenders there as he has a nice little spin move across the middle there. And this West offense with plenty of time to still get a touchdown.
Lancers with a 3-man front here. Sui to pass. And he's going to get chased out of the pocket there. 3 guys on him, and he'll still get 2 yards.
And he's an incredible athlete, but you also see he's a very strong runner. Kind of takes it to number 44 there for Granger. Very impressive job by Maka Sanasi to try and bring him down. I believe it was Sanasi, or maybe it was Sidiveni Montangi. We've got 2 44s, it looks like, on the roster here for Granger. So either one of them, good job.
Makes it tough when there's a few of them on there.
Well, and I know some teams, when they do these dark mode jerseys, they only have 1 jersey, so some players will even switch numbers too.
3rd and 3 here for the Panthers, and Sui to pass. Roll out action. Incomplete.
And trying to find, it looked like Viliata Tuaone there at wide receiver. You saw him almost drop one, did drop one, almost a house call there on defense.
That's right. That's right. He was on that, would have been a pick 6.
Yeah. See, I can't see numbers too well, so I just look for the colors out there. And Tuaone, very smart, wearing the pink spat. Obviously, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So good job by him, both catching our eye and promoting a good cause.
Yeah, Tuaone, the far receiver, still out there. And it'll be 4th and 3. Panthers going to go for it. Sui. Pass intended for Vailahi, and it's turnover on downs. It's going to be Lancer football in West territory.
Yeah, just a strange turn of events with that series. If you're Coach Junior Solovi, that series was rougher than a pine cone toilet seat for your offense, and now you give Granger the ball with plus field position here on the 46-yard line driving in. You have to think that if Granger is able to get a touchdown, that gives this team some life and a lot more momentum as they go into halftime.
Well, it's a 3 and out. I mean, they punt the ball down there. They get it out of deep in their own territory. It's basically like a long pass.
Yeah, and maybe that's kind of the thinking of it, is that the arm punt, right?
Right.
But, you've got a lot of confidence, a lot of trust in your defense. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on that.
Carr in the gun. 1st and 10. And he'll be pushed out of the pocket. He's going to go ahead and run for the yardage. He'll pick up a few. So we're down to 1:39 left to go here in the first half. 1:39. And they're going to give him 4 yards on that run, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Lancers.
You see Carr trying to keep his eyes downfield, trying to see anything that he can go to his receiver. Finally, at the very end, tucks the ball and goes down, comes back to the sideline over here after the big run to get the call from the coaching staff. And you have to wonder if maybe at some point during the season, if they've had trouble relaying signals or forgetting plays or something like that. And so you have to have Carr come over to get the call every single time.
Well, from the Panther 42-yard line. Carr in the gun. Santiago in the backfield with him. And he'll look to pass downfield. Intended for Key, and it's incomplete.
And you can see where Carr was so confident earlier in throwing those football. Rush coming at him there, rushes the throw a little bit, ends up at the feet of Key instead of the arms or the chest area. Key just not able to pick that one off the shoelaces, and now a big 3rd down here. Clearly 4-down territory, Mark. I would think, where you're sitting at the 42-yard line, that's well beyond my range as a kicker. Maybe not Moose Bingham, but...
Well, with 1:35 left to go, I think it is 4th down territory. So on 3rd down, we are going to have, what's going on?
Looks like it might be an injury and an equipment issue there with one of my brethren of the girth there, number 78, as he trots out the field.
Got to be an equipment issue. That's why you'd had a whistle, not a delay a game, right?
Correct.
Carr all alone in the backfield. And now we've got another, and there's the timeout for the Lancers. Hey, we'll take one as well.
Timeout call by Granger.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
They said it would take me 4 years to graduate. They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
West High football on KSL Sports Rewind right here, presented by Faucia Construction. I'm Mark Winterton. Brian Brown joining me. 1:35 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. As Lancers took a timeout here, it's going to be 3rd down and 6 from the Panther 42-yard line.
And we've seen West bring the pressure on 3rd down. Going to think that it's probably a passing down here for Granger. So interesting play call opportunity for this Granger coaching staff. Well, maybe you look to call a draw play or a screen, something to take advantage of that West High pressure. We haven't seen anything like that. We've seen a lot of sideline passes, but nothing in regards to draw or screens.
Well, you got to get it into your playmakers' hands, and that's going to be either number 9 or number 4 Mamoni, number 20 Figueroa, or number 10 Key. We've seen him make some phenomenal catches, and now we got false start. That's not going to help out.
No, you see that entire left side of the offensive line. You love the fact that they're moving in unison, but just way too early, fellas. Got to hold your water there. 5-yard penalty, and if you're Granger, that shouldn't change the play call, right? You're just going to keep going at it because you're in 2-down territory here. Just don't want to see those kinds of mental mistakes in such a critical time.
West showing blitz. Carr looking to pass, and he trips it up. And he will be sacked for a huge loss. And at this point, it is not 2-down territory. I wouldn't think, Brian.
No, and you see Taimani Brown there with the tackle, just coming from the linebacker position. And those Brown brothers are an absolute two-headed monster. But West going with the interesting threat to blitz the safety and confuses Carr, stumbles, just not able to escape Brown there on the play, and this one is definitely going to end up being a punt, as you don't want to give West a short field there at the 44-yard line.
Well, West wants a timeout. 1:08 left to go here in the 2nd quarter, as this is the last game of the regular season. We got tournament play coming up next week, exciting here, 6A.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great tournament run. You know, we've seen that the cream of the crop really across the classification has kind of risen. And, you know, I think we've all kind of nicknamed Region 4 the SEC. Maybe, you know, West represents the USC out here of Region 2. It'd be fascinating to see how they compete against some of those Utah County schools. But a lot, you know, I don't know if there's necessarily a dark horse candidate out there, Mark, but you and I have both seen Skyridge up close. They have to be the favorite going into the playoffs.
Skyridge and Corner Canyon, definitely. You know, and Skyridge playing American Fork tonight. I think that's going to be a great game. You know, with Moose, we did the Skyridge Lone Peak game, which Lone Peak looked like they had outcoached Skyridge for at least 3 quarters, and Skyridge found a way to come back into that ball game and win it by 1.
And the interesting part about Skyridge is McKay Hill said, will he come back? And he said, you know, it's such a rarity to see Skyridge get outcoached as well, too.
So Hillstead is done for the year.
Okay.
He actually had surgery, and he's just looking forward to going down and going up. I guess you could say up, right? North to Utah State to Logan. Bailahi back to receive. Is this Brown back to kick again? I think that's Matt Brown.
Yeah, it does look like it is Matt back there to kick. Matt Jones, I believe.
What did I say? Brown?
He can be a Brown as far as I'm concerned. I'll adopt Matt. He's been phenomenal tonight.
There's so many Brown out there. And Matt Jones there's the rugby style kick. He finally does kick it away, and Bailahi fair catches it and loses it. And it's the Lancers that jump on the ball.
Wow. What a turn of events. We've got a penalty flag down there. I don't know if it's going to have anything to do with the play, though, Mark, as Bailahi just straight up bobbles the punt. And a great job there by Matt Jones, escaping the rush, able to get the kickoff. We'll have to wait and see what the official signal is here. Again, I think that's an illegal substitution against West, so it's not going to matter. Granger's now got the football inside the red zone with 1 minute left. Wow.
That punt must have just come. It must have had some little bit of a movement right at the last minute, because Bailahi thought he was under it, calls the fair catch, and then, oh, wow, that's going over my head.
Yeah, and even the Granger defenders thought he was going to field it clearly. Not a lot of wind here, so probably wasn't a little gust or anything like that. Just, you know, maybe a little wobble or something, and what a huge turn of events for this Granger football team.
Oh, I think Matt Jones must have kicked a curveball there.
Matt, you have a place at my table any day of the week. Great job by him to get that kickoff.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Lancers down at the 11-yard line of West. Going with the tight formation here. And we'll see what that does against this tough West. Oh, and now they back up. And we got an offsides against the Panthers.
Yeah, a little trickeration there as they go with the kind of look like the old school double wing, double tight, double wing backs, and they back out of it, lure West into a penalty there. Just gives you that much more in terms of what you can run in the playbook. You know, you got 4 downs here. You can actually get a 1st down even if you need to. So nice little play call there by the Granger coaching staff.
Carr coming out more in the pistol here with Santiago lined up behind him, and it's a give to Santiago. He's not going to outrun those West defenders. Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, what an incredible job. You know, you see Santiago has to be frustrated, but this Westside defense does a phenomenal job as you see Julius Tikoisuva come up from that linebacker position to make the stop. Nice little celebration there. Great job to recover some of the yards that they lost on the offsides.
Well, not too bad. They still sit in pretty good position here. 2nd and 9 from the 10-yard line.
The clock is running. I don't know why Granger isn't getting up and moving right now.
Yeah, 22 seconds left to go. Carr looking to pass. And he'll air it out. And it's intercepted. So picked off. Another interception here. And so with 16 seconds, West will have the ball I would guess they're probably just going to down this one to end the first half.
Yeah, and a heck of a series there, as I believe that was Julius again with the interception. Makes the tackle in the backfield, and I think it was him that dropped in the end zone there, Mark. What a wild final minute to this first half as Granger gets the fortuitous bounce, not able to capitalize. And West, I think, would probably just kneel this one down and head to the locker room.
Yeah, they will. And so that's going to end the first half as 13 seconds and counting down. West going to go into halftime with the 21-0 lead. And then West will be receiving the ball when we come back after half.
Just a wild conclusion to what's been an interesting first half. When we talk about both of these teams, tops of the region here, West really establishing the dominance there in the second quarter as they settled down. Offense was able to produce 3 touchdowns there. One of those off of a pretty impressive interception there from West High. And just, you know, if you're Granger, you're going back in the locker room, you want to get back to what you were doing in the first half. If you're West High, let's eliminate some of those mistakes. Too many mental errors. Come out, play disciplined football, and this one will be in their hands, no problem.
Well, we will be back second half action to see what kind of adjustments this Granger Lancers team has made to see if they can get back into this ball game. We're back after halftime.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
It's West High football on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Faucia Construction. Mark Winterton, along with Brian Brown, joining me as it's going to be the Lancers kicking to the Panthers here as we get ready to start second half action.
You see Lancers going with that tight fake there on the kickoff, trying to do a little, we used to call it roller ball when I was at Snow College, and then spreading out to the standard kickoff formation there.
Well, we'll see them at some point. They're going to go forward with it, go through with the onside kick there.
They're not able to get a stop in this first series. They are going to have to start digging in that bag of tricks for sure.
This one a squib kick. Fielded at the 20, brought out to the 30, and they're going to down this one about the 35-yard line, and so it'll be West ball at their own 35.
Yeah, nice return there for West High. Number 15, Jacob Wilson there on the return. And we'll see what happens with this West offense. We saw in the first series of the game, try and establish that run game. I have to wonder if maybe they stay with it coming into the second half, or if they allow Sui to throw the ball around a little bit more here.
Well, I think a bigger question is what kind of adjustments would you have made if you're the Lancers at this point?
Well, if you're Granger, you're in a hard situation, right? Because you can't add more guys on the down line because West has so many weapons. And so really what it's about is what we saw just right from there.
Matt Jones
coming up, making a great tackle, and making sure that, every single one of your guys is executing doing their job on every single play. Maybe try to mix up some pressure a little bit from some different situations. See if you can get Sui to not so much escape the pocket, but just make a bad throw.
That was Arona on the carry, got one, and it'll be 2nd and 9 here. Arona still in the backfield there with Sui. Sui looked like calling the play out. He's got 4 receivers. And looking to pass. And now he's going to run as he'll stiff arm Matt Jones, and he'll pick up a few. It looks like he's going to step out about the 43-yard line, which will bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and you can see one of those adjustments that it looks like Granger's made is to try and spy Sui there with Matt Jones. You can see he's just a tough kid to bring down. He's so quick, so strong, so agile, able to get some good yardage there, get them into the 3rd and short.
Friday night lights here in the fall started to turn off a little cooler. We had a lot of games there where it was warm. As this is a give to Vailahi, he's got the first down and he's across the 50.
Yeah, what's going with the old reliable there, counter tray on 3rd down. You can see Vailahi does a great job following his blockers, getting super wiggly, gets that big gain.
So into Lancer territory, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 10:41 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You see Samisi Tonga limping off the field there for West. It's a big loss.
Hand off to Vailahi. Vailahi makes a move. He makes a lot of tacklers miss, and he's after the 30, the 20. Couple men to beat. He's going to step out of bounds as he spins. They're going to mark him out at the 13.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a foot race to the end zone, and Vailahi hits the B button and tries to spin around the defender there. Unfortunately, steps out of bounds, but regardless, Mark, a big gain there for West High.
It is B, isn't it?
I'm old.
I had to think of.
They only had 2 on the controller when I started playing.
I don't think you could spin in Tecmo Bowl.
Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe that's why I never won a game. I just kept trying to spin.
The spin move come around when Madden came up. Sui gives to Arona. Arona thundering forward. Going to pick up about 5 on this one, so it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Panthers.
And you see Arona a little bit more of the strong back there. Not able to bounce it outside. Matt Jones does a good job bringing him down. But as you're in here in the red zone, you want to use his strength and his downhill ability
I see Arona and I think of Tom Rathman.
Yeah, that 44 stands out to you, doesn't it?
It does. It does. That's exactly what I thought of. As this is, well, that's Vianuku.
Yeah. You see Arona, again, being the lead blocker there, like you were talking about, that old Tom Rathman style fullback.
First and goal, Vianuku. Touchdown.
That one was pretty much a wrap once they got down to inside the 20-yard line for West. They've been so efficient in the end zone. You see, again, just sticking with the bread and butter there on the counter tray, doing a nice job of switching it up and running it out of the two-back set there, but just so much weight just to deal with there if you're the Granger defensive front. And West gets the touchdown early here in the third quarter.
Panthers coming at them with no huddle offense, too. I mean, they weren't giving Lancers any time to think about it, to make any changes. They just came at them over and over and over again.
And they've done a good job of varying that up. You know, I think a great job by this West High coaching staff. Come out very first series of the game, really run the rock, establish that run game, and kind of take away any hopes that maybe Granger had of getting a turnover or a stop early on in the second half.
Well, the Granger offense will take the field. Well, at least they'll look to return the ball. We'll see what happens and what changes they've possibly made here.
Yeah, we've seen some exciting moments here tonight in the special teams. Nothing too out of control on the PATs, but I believe it's Vailahi mishandle a punt earlier. Seen some pressure, so running into the kicker. You know, we saw Granger with the, I guess you would call it a pitchback. Return.
Yeah.
So it's been, credit to this Granger coaching staff.
The lateral pass, sort of. I mean, in a sense, right?
Trying to find some ways to win, and West High, again, just a very talented, deep squad. They know what it is they need to do. They just have to go out and execute.
So it's Ari Kajanari to kick. Nice kick downfield. Going to find Figueroa. How did I say that wrong again?
We're starting things off just like we did in the first half, Mark, but Figueroa does a nice job. Getting upfield, making a nifty move, giving Granger some life there at the 33-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lancers.
On the 33-yard line.
Clock at 9:27 here in the third quarter. As Carr leads his team out onto the field here.
We saw kind of a mixed bag from Carr in the first half there. Some really great throws early on. West started to bring the pressure, so we'll have to see how he bounces back here in the second half.
Carr looking to pass. And it is not really a receiver in the area. I mean, Mamone, but plenty of defenders.
Yeah, a lot of white jerseys around Mamone there, and he is not a big, tall target, so you have to wonder if maybe there was some miscommunication there or what was going on, but you like the effort from Granger. Go to your playmaker. Try to get the ball in Mamone's hands. Try and get something going, but just a lot of white jerseys around him that time.
Well, this West defense has been really tough tonight, and I again, with state tournament play coming up on us next week, I'd be curious. I would really like to see this West defense up against some of your other premier 6A programs in the state and see how they match up.
You compare West to a program like Corner Canyon, that's been doing this for such a long time. You've got so much talent on this West defense as you see them collapse the pocket there on Carr.
Carr releases, and it falls incomplete. So close. Several defenders all over there. Looked like the ball was intended for Mamone.
Yeah, you can see that giant West High defensive front just able to provide so much pressure, and Carr gets outside the pocket, throws one out there, and we see Takua Suva again almost getting the interception.
This is going to bring up 3rd and 10. Of course, tonight's game is brought to you by Omi Photo. That's by Noemi Messina. It's located at 7819 South Highland Drive in Conwood Heights. Whether you're looking for a photo shoot with your family, team, family occasion, you can come support Noemi at Omi Photo. 801-949-6365. That number again, 801-949-6365. Car's going to get taken down for a big sack on that one.
And just nowhere to go, and you see the talent of this West defensive front closing in on the offensive line there from Granger, and the mental fatigue starting to take over, Mark, is they've just been so relentless coming after the quarterback. But really, it's a two-pronged attack here. They've got a great secondary as well, and Granger just not able to get anything going there on that drive.
8:36 and counting down as Matt Jones will come out to punt this one away in a 4th and 18 for the Lancers after that big long sack. Vailahi back to receive as Jones loses a hold of the ball. And I think finally the Lancers fall on it about the 1 yard line, but it'll be turnover on downs, and that gives West great field position.
Yeah, just you hate to see that if you're Granger and this coaching staff trying to pin West back and have a malfunction like that on the punt team. Lucky that it wasn't a touchdown, right? So your defense will get a chance, maybe catch a break, maybe cause a turnover, maybe cause some sort of missed assignment there for West. We'll see what happens here, but just things go from bad to worse for Granger there.
So with 8:14 left to go in the third, West looks to put another one on the board. And at this point, they had 7. They can get the touchdown and the extra point. We're into mercy rule football here in UHSAA rules.
Yeah, and a tough situation as this game started out super competitive, but you're seeing how good West truly is as they take over here and have to imagine that they score quickly.
Sui under center, hands to number 15. Number 15, that is Jacob Wilson on the carry. And that is another touchdown for the Panthers. And the Panthers go up on this one 34-0.
Yeah, first time we've seen Wilson touch the ball on offense. He had a pretty decent kick return earlier in the game, but you see that West offensive line just overpowering Granger, leading Wilson into the end zone, and it's an easy 6 as we wait for the PAT.
Kajanari adds the 1, and we're up 35-0. And so we're into mercy rule territory.
We'll wind that clock, and again, if you're Granger, at this point, it's about just trying to stay competitive on every single play, right? This one's starting to get out of control. You want to keep your kids bought in. You want to keep them focused on really getting better. If you're West, it's about just doing what you've been doing.
Well, tonight's game brought to you by NC Payments. If you own your own business that accepts payment by credit cards, well, or maybe you don't, come work with National Card Payments. They actually are a locally owned credit card processing company. They have over 22 years of experience, and you can get a free quote, just see how much they can help you. Well, give them a call. They love to support the local community, offering a $100 Visa gift card for any business that signs up for their merchant services this season. Find out how much they can actually save you and your company on your credit card processing fees. Just call them or text them today. Again, they might save you quite a bit on those processing fees. Give them a call, 801-923-8125. That's 801-923-8125. National Card Payments, company that cares. As West kick this one across the ground, and it's a Mamone that picks it up around the 12. And he'll be tackled about the 22.
And you see the effectiveness of the squib there as Granger gets some guys ahead of the game, but too far ahead for Mamone to actually make any kind of moves or any kind of cuts. And West doing a great job of limiting him in the return game.
So again, we're on this mercy rule, so the clock will continue to run. We're down underneath 8 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line here for the Lancers. Carr going to come out in the pistol. He's got Santiago lined up behind him. Near side receivers are Oh, he runs into Santiago on the handoff. Santiago's got the corner. Or at least I thought he did.
So did I, but you see the speed of that West Side defense, especially number 33. You see Tuaone flying up in support as well. And Santiago, very rarely this year has he been dragged down like that on a sweep play. Nicely executed, but again, just so much athleticism out there for West High School.
Yeah, we're down to now 7 minutes to play here in the third.
And it's good to see Mafili Snuka back out there on the field. Saw him get injured against Taylorsville. Flying up to make the tackle there for West.
Carr gives to Santiago. Santiago hits that hole. And he stays on his feet. He'll only pick up about 2. So it'll bring up about a third and a long 7 for the Lancers.
They're running right into the heart of that Westside defense. And Kalasoni Malu, whose name doesn't get called a lot, but does a great job there from that nose tackle position. West goes with the 3 down lineman look. And so if you're that big middle guy, you're doing a lot of 2-gap, meaning you're controlling both the A-gaps, taking on a lot of double and triple teams. He does a great job. Finally gets a tackle there. A little bit of recommendation for the big guys.
Do we have a substitution at quarterback? That's number 8 out there.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't see Carr.
I was looking for him on the sideline here.
Looks like he's with the trainers down here.
That's a thrown across the middle, incomplete pass. That's Garrett Cousins. Cousins in at quarterback there.
Tough situation for Cousins stepping in there. Cold, coming off the sideline, having to throw a pass there on 3rd down. Does a nice job of trying to find his receiver, just not able to make the completion. Granger going to try and punt this one away, and you just hope, you hope that Carr is okay as he is getting looked at by the trainers on the sideline. And if your Cousins get a chance to get warmed up again and see what you can do once you get this ball punted away.
So Jones back to punt. And it's fun to watch Jones because you never know what you're going to get from him. Here he's going to run out with the rugby style, and he's going to go ahead and get the fake punt. They convert on that one.
Well, we saw that earlier from Granger, and Jones had to kick the ball because there was so much rush. Catches the return team from West snoozing there, goes airborne at the very end. You can see him just exhausted as he walks off the field, but a great job by Matt Jones. He's Mr. Do Everything for this Granger football team, it seems, Mark.
I think he took an awkward hit.
Yeah. I know if I'd gone airborne like that, I probably wouldn't be walking off the field. You'd have to come get me with a stretcher, so it's a good thing that they don't have me out there playing.
It did like a front flip, but it was off the guy's helmet, off the defender's helmet. We're under 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And Granger still on the field. It's Cousins. Cousins in the pistol. Santiago lined up behind him. And a give to Santiago. Oh, that's Mamone. Mamone with a big run. And he'll pick up 9 on that play.
Well, I love the adjustment there from this Granger coaching staff as they saw they were able to get the edge briefly with Santiago. Go with the faster player there with Mamone now. Get the ball in his hands, and it's immediately a 9-yard gain. And you can see Cousins bringing some intensity, some rhythm to this offense, trying to get him up and moving.
We're under 4 minutes left to go here in the third. I'm sure Lancers would be happy just to come away with any points here, as they are inside Panther territory, and it's Mamone. Makes a nice move, makes a defender miss, but he is only going to get back to the line of scrimmage there. No gain on the play, brings up a 3rd and 1.
See Taimani Marley there trying to make the tackle there as he flies up from his linebacker position. And again, this West High defense just so stout across the board with the team. And you see Granger trying to get any yards they can with Mamone back there at the running back position.
3:04 left to go here in the third quarter, and continuing to run. The clock will run at all costs. We are this mercy rule, and We got a penalty. Is it a false start? It is. Not what the Lancers wanted. That'll stop the clock momentarily and start it right back up.
You see Cousins come over to get the call again. You know, at this point in time, if you're Granger, just trying to get points on the board has to be the priority, right? And you know, shooting yourself in the foot a little bit there with the false start penalty puts you into third and long.
So again, Cousins in the pistol. Is that Mamone line up behind him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a Santiago. And Santiago, again, can't get the corner, and he's going to get a loss of third. We're going to mark it 2. A loss of 2 on that play. At this point, I think you go for it on fourth, right?
Yeah, especially with the clock moving the way that it is, Mark. You know, you just want to try and get a conversion there. Really tough to run on the outside. We see Kaimani Lautaimi again with the tackle. Just a very phenomenal defensive talent out there at the edge position, and somebody that I think we're going to see a lot more as he goes on to play at the next level.
It is Matt Jones out to punt this one away, so they'll try and play the field game here.
No
Jones,
rugby style on that one, huh?
Yeah, he just kind of decides just to kick it away, and I thought the rugby style gives you some yards from where you kick it, plus it allows your defenders to get downfield, and I'm surprised they didn't try something like that this time.
Yeah, me too, and I think it was the biggest gain of the second half for sure, if not the game, when Jones was able to take it around the corner last time. I wonder if maybe they're just thinking or anticipating that West High will be looking for it that time. And then, you know, the other part of it too, Jones did take a pretty big hit there on that run, so maybe trying to limit the contact as he's got to go back out there on defense now.
Well, I'm kind of watching Jones out there. He's a middle linebacker, and he's still kind of holding himself like he possibly could have hurt himself on that last run.
You see him trying to stretch something out, maybe pull the muscle or some sore ribs, hard to say.
Sui looking to pass. Oh, and it is intended for number 19. Incomplete. There are penalty flags that come in there. I'll wait.
Number 19 there, Staten Havili, getting some time now here in the second half. Not a guy that's part of the regular rotation there at wide receiver for Coach Chris Cooper. But again, looks like a penalty will back up this West offense. About the only thing that stopped West tonight is themselves.
And I missed it, but it's a 15-yard penalty, which means it's probably a personal foul.
15-yard line.
Either that or else an offensive pass interference, right? Either or.
Could have been offensive, or yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, that'll make it. Wait, and the loss of down? Or has it stayed first? Okay.
There we go.
Now they've switched it back. It is 1st and 25 here.
Wednesday night game's got everybody confused.
Sui gives to, that is Arona with the carry, and he'll pick up 7.
See, Ty Arona really sticking true to that number 44. Reminds, like you said, Tom Rathman, and a little bit Mike Allstott too, and some of those other great fullbacks. Still has the nifty footwork to pick up the 7 yards there.
Hey, that's the end of the third, and so we'll be back to start the fourth quarter here in a bit.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Football right here on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Faucia Construction. I'm Mark Winterton and Brian Brown joining me in this. Which region is this?
Region 2,
Region
right?
2. Region 2 action as West comes in to take on the Granger Lancers. And
Good to finally get you up here to the Salt Lake Valley, Mark. You've been dedicated to the Utah County duties all year long. Been a lot of fun getting to know you and call a game tonight.
Well, I've been excited to see West. You know, I've seen little bits and pieces throughout the year, but haven't been able to actually call a game on them. And so tonight, been able to see some of this amazing talent that comes out of West High School. Sui to pass. And a quick little bubble screen there to Holbrook. Flag comes in there at the end. A whole lot of running, but doesn't result in a whole lot of yardage.
Yeah, and you see Holbrook trying to make something happen. Hasn't had a lot of targets this game. Very productive, very talented receiver out there. Tries to kind of dodge, dip a little bit. Looks like this penalty might be either a clip or a below-the-waist block. We'll see what the official signal is from the officials now as this West High offense moves back. But Sui took a pretty good shot there as he delivered the football.
So, 15-yard penalty.
Signaled a personal foul there, which not exactly sure what the officials saw that we didn't. Maybe it was just the type of hit out there on a defenseless player. I don't know.
Did the announcer just say second down and a bus ride?
Yeah. We're getting to that point in the game where everybody's trying stuff out, and I'm going to borrow that one.
That's a good one. Sui gives this one to Viacunu.
A rushing attempt stopped by the Lancer defense.
Sorry, Vianuku. I totally mixed up those.
Woo. It's tough when you get to these games, Mark, and I think you and I have both seen, the best teams in the state are all kind of spread all out over the place except for Region 4, right? Those games have all been competitive for the most part. With a game like this where it starts to get out of control early, trying to stay involved, stay in the game.
Well, it really has been fun to watch the West, though, as far as the talent-wise. Mm-hmm. And not to say that Granger doesn't, because they do. We watched Matt Jones take off on that fake punt and have a phenomenal run.
See Mamone make a few plays and Figueroa.
We watched Key make a phenomenal catch. So, but definitely, the talent at West sticks out. As Panthers are going to take a timeout, you know what? We will as well.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes
close game.
West High football right here on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Faucia Construction. 10:07 left to go here in the fourth. We are mercy ruled, or at least West has mercy ruled Granger. And so clock continuing to run, only stops on timeouts and penalties for a moment.
Yeah, quick moving second half here is just West High dominating Granger here towards the end. And it was a exciting game early on, trading possessions. Granger was able to get a few stops, offense able to get some drives moving, and then West just took over with a flurry of scores and turnovers and touchdowns, and now we sit here 35-0.
Sui comes out under center. Don't see that very often, and it's a handoff. I think it's to Vianuku. It is.
Rushing attempt by the Panthers.
There's so much talent in this West High football team. So many weapons that you can use on offense. But as our announcer said earlier, there'll be fourth down and a bus ride now, so it looks like West will punt the ball away.
Yeah, they really only got about 5 yards back. Tonight's game brought to you by Vittoria Real Estate and Financial Services. Excited to be a sponsor of West High School football. Owned and operated by Vittoria Tanuvasa. We are a team of industry professionals committed to genuinely serve our neighbors on the west side with all their real estate and life insurance needs. As a proud alumnus of West High School class of 2004, Victoria looks forward to supporting the Panther community. Did West come away with that one?
They did, and you see Mamoni just takes it off the chest there. We saw earlier Lailahi from West mishandle a punt, so maybe there's some swirling winds that we're not catching, Mark. Hard to say, but unfortunate in terms of events for Granger, and that's kind of been the story of this second half.
You know, I don't know if you can see that smoke. No, I can't see that smoke there, but boy, there's a smoke above this stadium coming from the tailgate.
Yeah, the worst part
they're
about
still
it, Mark,
cooking. They're still cooking.
That smoke smells amazing, so we might need to go down there and find what they're cooking. But
it is going right across the field, and you can kind of see there is a little bit of there's a slight wind, but I actually had some of the chicken when I got here. I had to, you got to try it out.
Oh yeah,
delicious. Some of the best chicken I've ever had.
Maybe that's what caught Mamoni, was he just hungry.
A little wildcat here. That's number 32, Louis Hamilton. Louis Hamilton is a freshman for this West Panthers team.
Yeah, the heir apparent there, the quarterback position. Got to see Hamilton a little bit against Taylorsview a few weeks ago. And, again, this West High program just developing into an absolute juggernaut out here. Which is so much talent, and Hamilton is a...
Did you just call him Taylor's View? Is it a view up there?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I haven't seen a bad view yet this year, Mark. Been pretty solid.
Not from up here, right? It's a Rona. Big old Tom Rathman carries forward for about 5 yards, and it's a first down for the Panthers.
Oh, borrow one from Boomer there, stumbling and rumbling for the first down.
This game brought to you by Mountain Ops. It's a local nutrition company helping improve the lives of individuals, families through high-quality supplements and hunger meal donations. Mountain Ops, they've got some good supplements there if you're a big exerciser, whether it be pre-workout, post-workout, protein. Check out Mountain Ops.
Wes getting real fancy here with the backfield. He's got Louis Hamilton back there. Also has his mate running next to him there from the defensive side of the football, number 8, Kaimani Lautaimi.
It's a give to Vaianuku. Vaianuku's going to carry for about 6 yards.
This is the time of the game where you start to see some of the experimentation, teams trying things out to see what they can possibly use in the playoffs. And again, this West team, I think they feel like they've been battle-tested this year, Mark. But they do need to be ready for this slate that they're going to have in the playoffs, without a doubt.
I like to see his freshman quarterback. Suisui's going to... No, Suisui's just a junior, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
And it's Vaianuku for the big run. He'll pick up 20-plus there on that run.
Hamilton, just a freshman, but, extremely explosive, very twitchy player. Kind of surprising that you don't see him play more on offense. Sometimes teams will do that, but West obviously trying to protect him as he is the backup.
So again, Hamilton on first down. Gives to Vaianuku. Vaianuku breaks several tackles. He's dragging a guy. Dragging a defender as he drags him clear down to the 4-yard line. We'll see if it's close to a first down. I don't think it is. It's like they're going to mark him a couple feet short.
Again, big Kaimani Lautaimi out there lead blocking for him. Lots of space.
Hamilton fakes it, and he's going to carry it himself. Touchdown, Hamilton. The Panthers score again.
You love Hamilton waving to the non-existent stands there in the end zone, mimicking probably his favorite college or NFL players, but didn't matter what West chose to do on that one. They had holes open everywhere, and just an easy touchdown drive as they'll go ahead 41 points here now pending the PAT.
Yeah, Ari Kajanuri comes on to attempt the extra point. Clock continues to run. We're down under 5 minutes left to go. This game brought to you by Intermountain Fire Protection. Your home and your business are far too important to not be protected. Intermountain Fire Protection will make sure your home and business is not only up to code, but protected from fire and its destruction. You can call 801-419-8084. Again, that's 801-419-8084, 8084. Intermountain Fire Protection, another sponsor of West High School football right here on KSL Sports Rewind. As they add the extra point, go up 42-0. And we're under 5 minutes left to go in this contest. We expected this one to be a little bit of more challenging game where it's vying for the region title, but West's going to walk away with this one.
Yeah, and Granger came out fired up early on, had a couple good drives there, able to limit this West High offense a little bit. West started a little bit of slow and then found their groove there about third, fourth series of the game and has never looked back.
Well, a lot of it I felt like, you got to capitalize on mistakes, and West did. Granger did not. They had that, you mentioned the muffed punt by Lahi. Granger comes away with it deep inside West territory, and they don't get any points off of it.
Yeah, and that's going to be the story of this game for Granger is just the missed opportunities there, and had some good stuff going early on with Carr, and then you can see just the physicality of West kind of started to take over there, and it almost becomes a mental game at that point, right? Especially at the high school level.
Well, Mamoni, he takes that kickoff around the 4. He catches up to his blockers, and his blockers are creating a wall there, but what happens? The West defenders just came right through that wall.
Yeah, and again, this West football team is so deep. You've got some real talented players there on special teams, and that's, it's an interesting story as you're seeing players just flock to these high-level programs because they want to play and they want to win, they want to be developed, and the best way to do it is get into the playoffs. Granger still in the early stages of that.
So it's still Cousins in the game, and now we've got a West timeout. You know what? We're going to take one as well.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, it is 3:53 remaining in this game. Right here on KSL Sports Rewind, it's West coming in to take on the Lancers of Granger. Mark Winterton, along with Brian Brown, bringing you this live action as the Lancers take the field. It's Cousins into the game for Carr. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, Carr's still sitting over on the bench. A couple teammates coming by to give him a handshake. Hasn't moved since going over there. Looked like they were looking at a lower leg over there. Hard to speculate from up here, though.
Cousin looks to pass. He's got a man in the flat. That was Key. Key with the reception. They're going to give him 4 yards on that one.
Key had that phenomenal catch early in the first quarter, and then West has done a great job of kind of blanketing him ever since then. We're seeing a couple jersey numbers. We've seen number 4, number 31 in there at safety that we haven't seen previously for West High. Trying to get some of the subs in, get them reps. If you're Granger, anything you can do to try and get points at this point, Mark, is a good thing, right?
Anything gives you momentum going into next week at this point.
Especially coming off a short week, Wednesday night games. The UHSAA tries to give teams a little bit more time to prepare by playing on Thursday the week before.
Cousins going deep, and it's knocked out of his hands. It'll be incomplete. That was great. Great play there by Figueroa to knock the ball out of the defender's hands.
Yeah, Figueroa having to play a little bit of defense there as an offensive player, knocked the ball out of trying to get a number there. Like I said, a couple backups coming in here for West High. Maybe anyways, that's one that defender's going to regret not reeling in, Mark.
It was a beautiful over the shoulder, but I think the receiver did a great job knocking it away from his hands, knocking it out of his hands.
I think it was Isaac Zillalem, I think, out there, number 35.
Brings
not
up
able to reel it in.
3rd and 6. Cousins looking to pass. He stays patient in the pocket, but now he's going to get sacked for a loss. Couldn't find a guy, and he'll go down.
We talk about it there. Number 52, Talatui Puchitau, the defensive end, also plays tackle, goes both ways a little bit here for West High. But Puchitau, very impressive young player. Believe he is, I know for sure he's an underclassman, but he may be a freshman or a sophomore. And if you recognize the name Puchitau, yes, it is that family that you see play up at the University of Utah with regularity.
So we've got a different punter coming in. Fourth and 8. The Lancers will punt away this. Going to land about the 48, and it takes a nice Lancers bounce down to the 30-yard line. They're going to mark this one at the 29. So West will take over on their own 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 53 seconds. I think you just get in the victory formation at this point, don't you?
Yeah, there's just not a lot to do. Here if you're West High School. Handled your business all game long, like you mentioned, Mark. Capitalized on Granger's early mistakes and ran away with this one as the clock will start, and they'll probably just get one play off, if that. We'll see.
So the clock's going to run. But I think there'll be a delay of game if so that they'll have to have one play here. Hamilton in the gun, and he will just down it, and that's going to do it for us. So West's going to walk away with the big win here, 42-0 over the Lancers in what we thought was going to be a region title game that could have been competitive, or at least come down to the wire. Did not.
It was a tough situation for Granger there as they buried themselves kind of in an early hole there in the first half. Second quarter mainly, but a great job and a dominant performance. The kind of game that we've come to expect from West High as we've seen them just run through the competition this year here in Region 2. Again, the story of two teams, one that just capitalized on mistakes and the other that wasn't able to. But you have to expect that this Granger program will continue to improve. And Mark, I think you and I are both looking forward to seeing what West can do here in the playoffs.
Well, again, that is West football. Again, thanks for all of our sponsors giving us this opportunity to bring you West High School football as they get the win here against Granger. I'm Mark Winterton, Brian Brown, signing off here on KSL Sports Rewind. Have a good night.